The Detroit Lions are coming into this season with a ton of hype after what they were able to accomplish in 2023. I've already made a ton of videos talking about this team and all that happened over the offseason, but now that things are settling down and it's almost training camp time, I want to go in depth on all the players that should see a lot of playing time and talk about what the expectations are for each of them and what they need to do to be successful. And I also want to talk about how this team has been flying under the radar because I really haven't seen too much national talk about them. And what they acquired over the offseason through the draft and free agency is absurd. Before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We're on the road to 30k subscribers, and with your support, I believe we can get there super fast. Alright, so starting off on the offensive side of the ball, I'm gonna first talk about the guy under center in Jared Goff. He just recently signed a 4-year, $212 million contract to stay in Detroit with $170 million guaranteed. The deal includes an option for the 27-28 season. He absolutely balled out last year, led this team to where they haven't been in a long time, but now being paid this kind of money, there's definitely going to be a lot of pressure on his shoulders to live up to that success, if not surpass it. Last year he threw for 4,575 yards with a 30-12 touchdown to interception ratio, and he almost led this team to the Super Bowl if it wasn't for some of the worst time management I've ever seen in my life. Here are some of the highlights and what the media has to say about this guy.
Let's talk about big news in the NFL that took place overnight. The Detroit Lions continue to dig into this vault of money that they have found, investing in a team that has brought them more happiness than potentially any Detroit Lions team has in the past. Jared Goff has signed an extension with the Detroit Lions, $170 million guaranteed on a 4-year deal.
The 10th best quarterback in the NFL is the most pleasant surprise that I have come across in these rankings so far. Number 10 is the quarterback of my Detroit Lions, Jared Goff.
Yes, you had to take that. I can't take your quarterback and give the intro there, right? We got to give Jared Goff his props, man. Jared Goff, first off, has made one of the greatest turnarounds I've ever seen in NFL history. That's what I would say. It's rare where you go from system guy, I need to be massaged, I need to be helped, I need the scheme to help me, to, wait, I've fixed that issue and now I'm aggressive and throw the ball all over and the offense is scary because I'm scary.
3rd and 6, Goff across St. Brown to the end zone. Detroit touchdown.
Moving on to his number 1 target, Amon Ra St Brown is yet again set to have a dominant season in 2024. He also got a contract extension and last season had over 1,500 yards with 10 touchdowns. He was one of the best receivers in the game, and some people really believe he can get close to 2,000 this upcoming season. Here is what people have to say about this guy.
Penalty sets Detroit back to its own 17. Goff slings deep out, and a diving catch is made by Amon Ra St Brown.
Amon Ra St Brown of the Detroit Lions has been paid like a number 1 wide receiver and has set a new bar for maybe Brandon Ayuk or T. Higgins or any of the other ones around town that are seeking a deal.
From a 4th round pick to big payday today. It's all laughs because there ain't no more funny money. That 4th round is a hee-hee. Yeah. That big bag just came through because we're not going to drop them numbers because we all seen it. Okay. But I love it for you, bro. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
On all your success.
Behind him is going to be Jameson Williams, who is looking to break onto the scene in 2024. The Lions absolutely have trust in him and the other guys behind him because they are not pursuing anyone else before the start of training camp. If not for a torn ACL in his final college game, Jameson Williams might have been the first wide receiver taken in the 2022 NFL Draft. As it was, after the Detroit Lions made a big trade up for him, he was the 4th receiver taken at number 12 overall. Williams' rookie season was truncated by rehabbing that ACL tear with 78 offensive snaps, 9 targets, and 2 touches over 6 games. His second season got off on the wrong foot due to a gambling suspension, but he showed notable progress late in the year that carried into OTAs this year. Here's what people have to say about this guy.
First down, another fake. Come with Jameson Williams, the speedster, has a block. Williams cuts up, 25, 20, still on his feet. Jameson Williams scores!
Detroit Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams has had quite the bizarre start to his career. He is someone who is a really hyped up prospect and a lot of people thought was going to be an easy top 10 pick, an easy wide receiver number 1. but coming off of an injury that hurt his draft stock a little, he still was drafted 11th overall, so there's still a lot of hope.
In the backfield, the Lions will be running it back with Gibbs and David Montgomery. Last season was kind of weird for these two, and I can't even explain why. I think a lot of people, especially fantasy owners, were expecting to see the ball in Gibbs' hands a lot more, but especially towards the red zone, it was Montgomery majority of the time. But in terms of building for the future, this is one of the best backfields in football. Here's what everyone is saying about these guys.
For Gibbs of the Detroit Lions, Gibbs goes number 12, and I think immediately we saw his playmaking ability and the vision that the Lions had for him. As they'd already built this team, loaded up on offensive linemen, different types of deep threats and speed all over the place. When Gibbs got in there as a change of pace back, he created a ton of big plays for the Lions.
Yeah, he did. But also, I think we saw that, like, he's just a really good running back.
Over at tight end, Sam LaPorta is also a very exciting young player in this offense. In 2023, he had 900 yards with 10 touchdowns, which is a lot for a tight end. He also helps out the offensive line, which is one of the best units in the league. LaPorta is expected to once again be a vital part of the Lions offense. With Josh Reynolds' departure, there will be even more targets and opportunities made available. As the security blanket for Jared Goff, the 23-year-old could be in for an even bigger year. Here's the word on him.
His regular season opener was an eye-opener for me. It showed not just his ability to line up as a tight end in the slot or to the boundary and be effective. I think he had like 5 catches for 39 yards, no touchdowns that night. Thursday Night Football opener, obviously. But he also lined up at wide receiver that evening, and he beat Trent McDuffie on a physical collision type play.
Moving over to the defensive side of the ball, there is also a lot to be excited about with this unit led by Aiden Hutchinson. It might not feel like it to some, but the Lions defense finished last year ranked in the top half of the league in DVOA, thanks in large part to their #1 ranked run defense. And while the passing defense was often the source of their problems, it still ranked in the middle of the pack at 16th in the NFL. 2023 was a huge improvement over the last couple of years, where the Lions defense ranked 27th in DVOA in 2022 and 29th in 2021. And when you consider the additions made to the defense already this offseason, there is a reason to be optimistic that the unit can be even better in 2024. On paper, the Lions defense is already looking better now than it was week 1 of last year's regular season. And we haven't even got to training camp yet. With the exception of safety and linebacker, the Lions have seemingly improved at every level and every position. The loss of CJ Gardner-Johnson stinks a bit, as he was one of the Lions' big acquisitions in free agency last year, but it's not like he was all that available anyways. The Lions have 2 solid starters in Kirby Joseph and Melifonwu, but they are extremely thin at the position behind them. Detroit will have Harris, who can play both cornerback and safety, and head coach Dan Campbell has also hinted at the possibility of Brian Branch playing some safety this year. So they do have some backup options. I just think the Lions are in for another super exciting year, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's all I got for this one. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and also let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.